Thank you, Michael. Brad, thank you.
Appreciate everybody's patience. I was already out the window here.
It's all right. His third-place finisher, Brad Keselowski, has joined us. And, Brad, thank you for coming in here. Certainly was quite the race out there here today and then tonight. The driver of the number 2 Miller Lite Ford and our 2012 NASCAR Sprint Cup Series champion. What are your thoughts about the race and how you thought you performed? And certainly it looked like you were right there at the very end.
Yeah, I thought our car was really, 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 really strong. Best car I've ever had here at Daytona, and I was proud of it. Got to the lead from the very back twice and didn't quite pull it off the third time, but got really close there, obviously, in the closing laps with some help from a few others, but a strong night for sure. Didn't get the win, which is most disappointing as a race car driver. You don't get cars like that all the time. Well, at least most of us don't. But we had the opportunity tonight and came up a little bit short there on that last restart, but really proud of the effort and happy for my friend.
Questions now for Brad. If you have one, raise your hand, please. Right here, front row, please.
Hi, Brad. Tom Jensen, FoxSports.com. Obviously, you're not going to be happy if you don't win, but how good is it just to kind of get one in the books, to get a good solid top 5, to get the season started after slow?
Points days don't mean anything anymore. That's the great thing about this format. So there is no good points day as far as I'm concerned. It's win or nothing else matters, especially when you come to Daytona.
Okay, back in the back, Jerry has one.
Jerry Bunkowski, NBCSports.com. Brad, you've been such a close friend to Junior, and I know you're obviously a competitor as well too. But driver to driver, your thoughts about him winning this race?
I thought he did a great job. If there's ever a guy who's due, it's a guy that's finished second 3 out of the last 4 years. That's really saying something. Hopefully that'll work out for me at Watkins Glen. But he's been right there. He's knocked on the door. He runs restrictor plates. As an elite driver, and probably in the top 3. Hasn't got the win that he probably deserved a couple times from a whole bunch of circumstances out of his control. And, he was due, and today was his day. So I'm happy for him and happy for all those guys. There's a lot of great people over there on that team that I really like. I really like Steve, and, Dale obviously gave me my big opportunity, and, he's probably my best friend in the garage outside of my teammate Joey Logano, and his spotter is my neighbor. There's a lot of cross pollination there. So it's good for them. I'm happy for them.
Let's go here to David. Had a question, and then to Tom. David, and then to Tom.
Yeah, Brad, David Newton, ESPN.com. You're a good big picture type guy. From the sports perspective, better tonight for Dale Jr. to win than the 3 making its comeback?
I don't know. There's no shortage of storylines this year. It's just a matter of which one suits your fancy. Dale's a very popular driver. Is he more popular than a number? I would like to think so. I'd like to think a person is more popular than a number, but I guess nowadays you never know. But both are certainly important stories, and both would have been very rewarding for the sport. I think the great thing about Dale winning today, I fouled him and passed him and did all those other things. I think it was, something, this particular race, there's no drama. There's no feeling that I don't feel like anyone can legitimately have that there was some voodoo magic reason why he won. He earned this in every sense of the form, and I think to me that probably stands out the most.
Let's go to Tom, and we'll go all the way in the back, and we'll go to CBS right here.
Tom Bowles, Apollon Front Stretch. Brad, this is the closest you've ever come, and Denny was in here earlier after finishing second, and he was like, I'm 50-50 right now. I don't know whether to be happy or pissed off. Coming that close, are you going to leave here thinking that there's anything that you could have done differently? Or the way the outside line formed that last 2 laps, are you going to leave here and say, you know what, I'm pretty satisfied with third. That was the best I was going to be able to get?
Well, having the benefit of getting back to the bus and changing before coming here. That's got to be a first, right? I had the opportunity to watch the replay. I don't feel like there was anything I could have done differently. When the 11 and 18 broke apart, and then the 17 split the 18, that was the end of my night. There was nothing I could do, so it was just circumstances outside of my control. I could have blocked the 11 and ran second. That's all that was going to happen if I'd have blocked the 11, but I really wasn't interested in running second. I took a shot at a different move that would have gave me an opportunity to win and finish third. So that's just the way it is.
Back all the way in the back there, Brad. George Diaz.
Yeah, Brad back here. George Diaz with the Orlando Sentinel. How does that long, prolonged delay, how does it affect you? Is it boredom, anxious, or, what kind of goes through your emotions as you're waiting to start this thing again?
Well, everybody kept telling me over the radio, there's more rain coming, more rain coming, more rain coming, and I think that really added to the anxiety and the rush of pace more so than even the break. I thought everyone raced really, really hard, 500-mile race here today. I don't know about you guys, but I never saw a lull in the action from where I was sitting. That has to be the hardest race 500 ever, as far as I'm concerned, and probably one of the best. You look at this rules package and the way the cars ran today. You could run the bottom, you could run the top, you could run the middle. At one point in the race, handling started to come into play, and skill level really showed up from a driver's perspective. I couldn't be more pleased as both a participant and naturally a fan of the sport with how the 500 went from a competitive standpoint and how things went there. I just obviously disappointed I didn't get 2 spots higher, but the actual racing I thought was great. I really hope they don't change this package because I thought it was very, very solid.
Right here, and then we'll end with Stan. Go ahead, sir.
Hi, Brad. Peter King with CBS News Radio. And, I think back a couple of years when you got those 100,000 Twitter followers in a matter of moments during that delay. Social media really exploded during this rain delay as well. Could you talk a little bit about that? And as somebody else said, it's a big picture kind of thing. You're a big picture kind of guy.
Well, we seem to do really well when we have delays here in Daytona. Maybe we should just run 50% of the race and pause for 4 hours. Maybe we're stumbling upon something. The racing gods are trying to tell us something. We need like a 4-hour intermission in between the 500, but that'll be our next format change. But, whatever works, and I'm glad that it's working.
Go to Stan and actually end with Dustin. Stan and then Dustin.
Brad, over this side.
Over to your left, Brad.
Stan Creekmore with RPMtonight.com. It is about 2.5 minutes from midnight. Is that when you put Daytona aside and start thinking about Phoenix and what you need to do there?
Nah, I haven't thought about that much. I'm a night owl, so this gives me a good excuse to tell Roger Penske why it's good for me to stay up late. I'm still in my A-game zone mentally, but I'll move on to Phoenix probably after tomorrow and go from there.
Final question.
Dustin Long, MRN.com. Brad, certainly we saw the strength of the Gibbs car, especially Hamlin, throughout the week, but he kind of thought his car maybe wasn't as strong as the week progressed or everybody got better. Did you see a difference with that car? And also, did you see a difference with Dale Jr.'s car? Because I'm not sure if many people kind of looked at him as the week progressed as somebody to one of the 3 or 4 immediate favorites.
Well, I guess first off, from Denny's perspective, I did think at the very halfway point of the race, probably around lap 80 or whatnot, a bunch of other cars picked up speed for whatever reason. It's interesting. I'm not sure why. But the back half of the field seemed to really adjust on their cars and make gains. I thought before that there was a little more of a separation, especially in the sun. It would have been interesting to see how the race would have played out under those circumstances. But from Dale Jr.'s perspective, I never come here and write off the Hendrick cars. It seems like come Sunday they pull something out that no one's ever seen. And they obviously were faster in the race today than they had been throughout the rest of Speed Weeks.
Brad, thank you for coming in. Congratulations on a good
Speed
Speed Weeks. See you at Phoenix.
See you guys.